Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we have another edition of 31 Days of Halloween. Um, while we're waiting for it to load, so I've started to, do something that I've been meaning to do for a while, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to keep it up. But like I said, I'm still at this current time reading this because I'm so lazy. And I'm also starting to do read alouds in the books for like. And right now we're reading The Help. It's a good. I mean, I really enjoyed the I really enjoyed the movie, and I've seen the movie several times, but I've never seen, I've never read the book before, and obviously I feel like the book is usually, always better than the movies. Sorry, y'all, the phone is in its just turned on phase, want to be slow. So bear with me for a minute. But while that's loading, I got another new book. Actually, I got 2 copies of this book. Why I got 2 copies, I don't know. But there were like 3 copies sitting there, and I didn't want to get 3. So I got 2, and it's all right. I've read one of his books before that were really good, so I'm excited to read this one, and we'll probably be reading that one, after we finish The Help. I think we're either going to read that or Hamlet next, because we've got to read Hamlet, and we're also going to read, I have another book planned. But anyways, in today's video, we are going to, like I said, be doing another edition of. Also, it's being like really freaking slow right now, so I'm so sorry. This intro is so long. I honestly probably should have waited until it was ready to load before I started filming, but I figured there's some like but I feel like there's like a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about. My true crime channel, I have the new episode. I have one new episode recorded. I think we're gonna come back in November, maybe October. I don't know, because I want to, either anywhere from mid-October to early November is when we're going to come back to that channel. We haven't posted to that channel since I moved, and that's part of the reason why I moved. But anyways, today we are going to be talking about Hatchet House. Alright, so let's go. There is supposedly a street in Oklahoma City called Carrie Place, where, rumor has it, a little girl named Carrie was murdered, and to this day, late at night, you can see her ghost walking around or playing in the backyard. The story begins in the late 1950s when little Carrie stayed after school one evening to play on the swings. While playing there alone, she was spotted by a crazed man who was carrying an axe. He approached the little girl, but she managed to escape the insane man's evil clutches and ran down the street screaming for help. The little girl ran from house to house, pounding on the doors and neighbor. Unfortunately, the residents were all too terrified to open their doors for the little girl, and the axe-wielding murderer chased her down and caught her just as she reached her own home. On her front porch, little Carrie was murdered by the man with the hatchet. The killer chopped off her body and stuffed her remains inside a big flower pot that stood outside her front door. According to legend, the white porch of little Carrie's house was completely covered in blood, and no matter how many times her parents washed and scrubbed it, the stains could not be removed. To add to the spookiness, little Carrie's body parts are said to be buried in the backyard of the Hatchet House, and the neighborhood was renamed Carrie Place in her memory. But shortly after the murder, something strange happened to every house in the block, where the residents had ignored Carrie's desperate pleas for help as she fled from her killer. The people in those houses woke up one morning to find that their front porches had been painted red. People say that the porches were painted red by the ghost of little Carrie as a mark of their guilt in the girl's death. Today, people who have driven by the house in the daytime say that the area has an old, creepy feeling, and the windows of the Hatchet House have carvings in the shutters in the shape of hatchets. They also say the school's swing set has been seen swinging on its own ever since. People have reported hearing the haunting screams of the young girl echoing in the moonlit street. Every Halloween, local children flock to the historic district of Carrie's Place, trying to find the notorious house with the hatchet cutouts on its shutters. They go from door to door, trick-or-treating, but when people open their doors, instead of saying trick-or-treat, the kids say, "Can little Carrie come out to play?" And that is the story of Hatchet House. I feel like a lot of these stories I've been doing lately are like really creepy, but also like really sad. But yeah, but anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. As always, you guys rock, and I will see you all next time.